Gemini, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. We have officially entered Leo season. We're also going to be having a new moon in Leo in a couple days from when I am recording this. New moons allow us to kind of connect with and set new intentions or readjust things that aren't quite working. And Leo energy really puts us front and center, right? So it's about you. It's all about you. And making sure that you're taking that into the equation as you are dealing with evaluating certain people, certain dynamics. It's not all easy. We have a lot of changes and transitions that are happening. Pluto's in retrograde. It's also just moved into Aquarius last November. It will be there for the next 18 years. And so it's really kind of setting the stage, setting the groundwork for how those 2 decades-ish will be looking for us. That's why change is being highlighted, so that we're making adjustments according to like what our heart wants and needs, how we kind of see these next 20 years playing out for ourselves, having some type of bird's eye perspective, forward thinking mentality. Not that everything has to be etched in stone by any means, but it's about investing in yourself, right? In so many different ways. And a lot of those things are being tested through people, situations that are popping up in our life that either are not aligning with what our wants and needs are, or kind of just are trying to get away with certain things, right? That's definitely that Black Moon Lilith energy, a little trickster energy that we need to be mindful of. That's also why I enjoy starting the readings off with an energy cleansing, just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out some of those spots that we're feeling blocks or limited in how we are making decisions for ourselves. It's a really good time to set your own intention for the reading as well, Gemini, especially if you do have something on your heart or mind that you want spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive it. Is a really great way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you just are looking for a realignment of self, your mind, body, soul. I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. Both of those services really help us realign, reestablish ourself within ourself, right? So we're not so dependent on external forces, opinions, etc. And we're really just listening to what is highest and best for ourselves. And I would just love to support in whatever way possible. That's how we manifest happiness, fulfillment, abundance. Definitely hit me up if you're interested. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and, release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the it was burning me, sorry. For the collective, Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, Gemini. I feel like you're really struggling this week, between deciphering between illusion and reality. Neptune is in retrograde right now, and it really does kind of highlight those spaces in our life, whether it's just paranoia, fear, anxiety, or if it's actually someone like proactively trying to fearmonger, right? Trying to like a little bit of gaslighting energy. I'm hearing someone who's trying to cover their tracks, etc. Like that's really what you're, 100%. That's what you're trying to sift between. you're looking to see kind of like what options you have in front of you this week. And I feel like that's part of where some of this cloudiness, this fogginess is getting into play. Because it looks like there's a dynamic that's like both good and bad. And as much as certain things have worked to your advantage in this dynamic, it's not really where you want it to be at. Because it's not honoring you in a way that, like I think it's a lot about staying in line. So this looks like you're dealing with someone who has a lot of expectations of how you should behave is what I'm hearing, right? Like this feels like someone who definitely wants you to think the same, act the same, be the same as them. And not really giving a lot of like respect and understanding for who you are. But you're like, okay, how can we make this better? Or how can we make this different? Something is making you hopeful this week. I think that like things are gonna change. There is some resistance, however. Right now, Uranus is in Gemini. So Uranian energy helps us to be more creative, more inventive with our approach. And there has been this call lately where it's like we need to work with the energies that we're dealing with present day, like this, whether it's stuff that's changing, cycles that are closing out, loose ends that need to be tied up, etc. There is this important message to deal with that energy in a more creative way, meaning not how you typically would. But that's not happening, right? Like I feel like you're kind of trying to approach it with, I'm hearing this level of like innocence and authenticity. Like it feels like you're really trying to show up, give someone that part of yourself, perhaps have really practical, down-to-earth conversations where you're really trying to level with someone, or that's how it looks. And maybe they're promising something, or the way that they're communicating back to you makes you feel like they're gonna promise you something, but they're not at the same time. This is just someone who is a little bit resistant. 7 of Wands energy. They're resistant to what you're saying, to what you're asking. There's a part of you that feels like you do have to self-protect. Like perhaps you feel like you can't necessarily stand up to this person, or maybe you would, had it been different. But like, again, you just, like, it's like you're timidly offering something to someone. And what do I mean by that? It's like you're going with the flow, trying to like protect yourself, but also trying to give them what they want. You don't feel very secure though, because I think, again, you kind of know what comes with this energy. There's good and there's bad. Insight and enlightenment is also about protection. It's also about using our intuition. And right now, Saturn and Neptune are in Aries, and they are challenging us with situations that might be a little bit more difficult. They're challenging us to listen to our instincts around things. I don't know. Like, it does kind of look like you might be hiding a little bit this week. Like I said, you're trying to appease someone. The way that you're showing up, you're just like doing your best to keep the peace and say, hey, this is what I'll give you. But meanwhile, in the background, like you're kind of contemplating what your options are, right? Where there can be change, because it's like you don't really want to sit in this energy any longer. There's a lot better things around you that feel like they make a little bit more sense. I feel like you're not quite there, however, because we do have this growth and support energy coming in for you as you move forward. And I feel like this is just where you need to strengthen yourself a little bit more. Yeah, 100%. Someone's using this as an excuse, and that's kind of where it comes back into play. Like, I feel like, okay, let's look at this. Why 7 of Swords? What are they doing? Okay, so they're going to challenge you is basically what this looks like. They're forcing you to make a decision because they're not liking that you're not playing in their way. And you haven't specifically made this decision quite yet to be done and over with this thing. You might not even be cutting it out of your life. Just take it how it resonates. Maybe some of you are, maybe some of you aren't. Right now, it looks like it's hanging around for a little bit because you're not quite ready yet. And I feel like the way someone reacts towards you is abrasive. It's something you've seen about them before. You know this about their character. It does feel pretty intense. Like, it's like just, it feels like yelling at you or challenging you or like putting you in your place or, you know, and I'm not trying to say they're trying to be mean. A lot of it is their own stress, their own stuff that they have going on in their life. But it is something that kind of controls you at this point, Gemini. And I kind of feel like that's where this Uranus is coming into play in your blocked energy. There's something that you're not relying on, or there's something that you can't really, like I think you're just underselling yourself is basically what this is talking about. Because to me, this looks like you actually really know what this situation is. At the same time, like, this is where that Saturn and Neptune in Aries come into play, because they're forcing us to strengthen our intuition, or what your intuition is telling you, what you see, what you feel about this person, about this situation has actually been right the whole time. And then with that energy, as we grow, as we evolve, it's helping us to empower that part of ourselves more. You are what you think. So there is that component of, if you think you deserve this, well, that is going to make it take a little bit longer to sort ourselves out. And most likely because there's something in this that you do want, right? Like something in this that feels important to you, that feels special to you, that feels like the icing on the cake. I'm hearing it's hard to see the other side, you know? Tame and attain. So understanding what your goals are, what's your end result, what do you desire to have happen, and then making sure that you're showing up in that energy on a consistent basis. It might be a little bit difficult because anytime we're in relationships, dynamics with people, the stage is set, and then it's kind of hard to like shift those dynamics, right? We get in a groove, we get in a rhythm, life happens, etc. There's things that like we get used to acting and behaving like, especially if someone wants us to do it that way. Also, there's a lot of power in your words. You are an air sign. Your communication, your intellect. Mercury is in retrograde right now, but it also rules Gemini. And right now, Mercury's in Leo. So again, it kind of goes back to that point of like connecting with your voice. I think that you have more resources than what you realize. And I think these resources are specifically with the way you think, with the way that you communicate, and using that wisdom as your power. I feel like that's part of where the nervousness comes into play, or back to that original message, like where it's hard to kind of sift through some of the illusions, because maybe you haven't gone down a certain road before. And again, this is kind of new for you, right? That's why we have this growth and support card. I feel like also you're being presented with this opportunity to do things a little bit differently, right? And if you focus more on how you're controlling your communication, how you are, kind of delivering your conversations, it's going to be way more powerful than maybe what you even think or feel. Yeah, I'm seeing like, it's like you're putting to bed this snake, right? I think you're able to pinpoint someone or a situation from that space of authenticity, like we talked about before. Like speaking truth is powerful right now, and you might be shying away a little bit from this week, but I feel like stuff that happens, that continues to happen, is going to give you a little bit more courage and strength to do so as you move forward. It's a little bit of a process, that's how it looks, but continue to practice, right? It's not about being perfect the first time around. Sometimes things just take a little bit longer for us to navigate through. Not good, bad, right, or wrong. There is value in this. You are more powerful than what you're giving yourself credit for. You are coming from a space of like authenticity, and I think there's a lot of power in that for you, Gemini. All right, thank you so much for your time, energy always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. Know it blesses my heart, and I'm sending that love and blessings back to you.